A USB flash drive, also known under a variety of other names, is a data storage device that includes flash memory with an integrated USB interface. USB flash drives are typically removable and rewritable, and physically much smaller than an optical disc. Most weigh less than 30 grams. As of January 2013, update, drives of up to 512 GB were available. A 1 TB drive was unveiled at the 2013 Consumer Electronics Show and became available later that year. Storage capacities as large as 2 TB are planned, with steady improvements in size and price per capacity expected. Some allow up to 100,000 write-erase cycles, depending on the exact type of memory chip used, and have a 10-year shelf storage time. USB flash drives are often used for the same purposes for which floppy disks or CDs were once used, i.e., for storage, data backup and transfer of computer files. They are smaller, faster, have thousands of times more capacity, and are more durable and reliable because they have no moving parts. Additionally, they are immune to electromagnetic interference, and are unharmed by surface scratches. Until about 2005, most desktop and laptop computers were supplied with floppy disk drives in addition to USB ports. But floppy disk drives have become obsolete after widespread adoption of USB ports and the larger USB drive capacity compared to the 1.44 MB 3.5 floppy disk. USB flash drives use the USB mass storage device class standard, supported natively by modern operating systems such as Windows, Linux, OS X and other Unix-like systems, as well as many BIOS boot ROMs. USB drives with USB 2.0 support can store more data and transfer faster than much larger optical disk drives like CD-RW or DVD-RW drives, and can be read by many other systems such as the Xbox 360. PlayStation 3, DVD players, automobile entertainment systems, and in a number of handheld devices such as smartphones and tablet computers. Though the electronically similar SD card is better suited for those devices. A flash drive consists of a small printed circuit board carrying the circuit elements and a USB connector, insulated electrically and protected inside a plastic, metal, or rubberized case which can be carried in a pocket or on a keychain. For example, the USB connector may be protected by a removable cap or by retracting into the body of the drive, although it is not likely to be damaged if unprotected. Most flash drives use a standard Type A USB connection allowing connection with a port on a personal computer, but drives for other interfaces also exist. USB flash drives draw power from the computer via the USB connection. Some devices combine the functionality of a portable media player with USB flash storage. They require a battery only when used to play music. History. Patent controversy. USB flash drives were invented by Amir Ban, Dov Moran and Oren Ogdan, all of the Israeli company M-Systems, who filed U.S. Patent 6,148,354 in April 1999. However, the patent describes a product that has a cable between the memory unit and the USB connector. Released later the same year, IBM Patent Disclosure RPS 81999-0201 from September 13, 1999 by Shimon Shmuley accurately describes the USB flash drive. IBM partnered with M-Systems to bring the product to market. Shmuley was later an expert witness for M-Systems and as part of his testimony in the Singapore court presented the IBM disclosure and evidence to the fact that he invented the USB flash drive. M-Systems product, developed by a team led by Dan Harkaby and named the Disconki, was announced in September 2000. Competing claims have been made by Singaporean company Trek Technology and Chinese company Netic Technology, but these claims are based on patents that post-date M-Systems. Both Trek Technology and Netic Technology have tried to protect their patent claims. Trek won a Singaporean suit, but a court in the United Kingdom revoked one of Trek's UK patents, while Netic Technology has brought lawsuits against PNY Technologies, Lenovo, Igo, Sony, and Taiwan's Acer and Taiguan Enterprise Co. Most companies that manufacture USB flash drives do so without regard for Trek and Netic's patents. Puakind Seng from Malaysia claims to have incorporated the world's first single-chip USB flash controller. He is currently the CEO of Phison Electronics Corp., which is based in Taiwan. First commercial product Trek Technology and IBM began selling the first USB flash drives commercially in 2000. Trek Technology sold a model under the brand name Thumb Drive, and IBM marketed the first such drives in North America with its product named the Disk-on-Key, which was developed and manufactured by M Systems. IBM's USB flash drive became available on December 15, 2000, and had a storage capacity of 8 megabytes, more than 5 times the capacity of the then common floppy disks. In 2000, Lexar introduced a compact flash card with a USB connection, and a companion card read, writer and USB cable that eliminated the need for a USB hub. Second generation. By 2003, most USB flash drives had USB 2.0 connectivity, which has 480 MB/s per second as the transfer rate upper bound. After accounting for the protocol overhead, that translates to a 35 MB per second effective throughput. That is considerably slower than what a hard disk drive or solid-state drive can achieve when connected via the SATA interface. Transfer rates may be given in megabytes per second, megabits per second, or in optical drive multipliers such as 180x. File transfer rates vary considerably among devices. Typical fast drives from this generation claim to read at up to 30 megabytes per second and write at about half that rate, which is about 20 times faster than the theoretical transfer rate achievable by USB 1.1, which is limited to 12 MB/s per second. The effective transfer rate of a device is significantly affected by the data access pattern. For example, small writes to random locations are much slower than long sequential reads. Third generation, like USB 2.0 before it, USB 3.0 dramatically improved data transfer rates compared to its predecessor. It was announced in late 2008, but consumer devices were not available until the beginning of 2010. The USB 3.0 interface specifies transfer rates up to 5 GB/s per second compared to USB 2.0's 480 MB/s per second. All USB 3.0 devices are backward compatible with USB 2.0 ports. As of April 2014, update, computers with USB 3.0 ports are common. Most newer laptops and desktops have at least one such port. USB 3.0 port expansion cards are available to upgrade older systems, and many newer motherboards feature 2 or more USB 3.0 ports available through PCB headers. Fourth generation. As of March 2015, update, some manufacturers have announced USB 3.1 Type-C flash drives with read-write speeds of around 530 megabytes per second. Storage capacity. The first USB flash drive appeared on the market in late 2000, providing a storage capacity of 8 megabytes. Later, the maximum available storage capacity gradually doubled all the way up to reaching capacities of 512 GB and 1 TB by January 2013. However, as of May 2014, update, flash drives with anywhere from 8 to 128 GB are still frequently sold. Design and implementation. On a USB flash drive, one end of the device is fitted with a single standard USB plug. Some flash drives additionally offer a micro USB plug. facilitating data transfers between different devices. Inside the plastic casing is a small printed circuit board, which has some power circuitry and a small number of surface-mounted integrated circuits. Typically, one of these ICs provides an interface between the USB connector and the onboard memory, while the other is the flash memory. Drives typically use the USB mass storage device class to communicate with the host. Technology. Flash memory combines a number of older technologies, with lower cost, lower power consumption and small size made possible by advances in microprocessor technology. The memory storage was based on earlier EPROM and EPROM technologies. These had limited capacity, were slow for both reading and writing, required complex high-voltage drive circuitry, and could only be rewritten after erasing the entire contents of the chip. Hardware designers later developed EEPROMs with the erasure region broken up into smaller fields that could be erased individually without affecting the others. Altering the contents of a particular memory location involved copying the entire field into an off-chip buffer memory, erasing the field, modifying the data as required in the buffer, and rewriting it into the same field. This required considerable computer support, and PC-based EEPROM flash memory systems often carried their own dedicated microprocessor system. Flash drives are more or less a miniaturized version of this. The development of high-speed serial data interfaces such as USB made semiconductor memory systems with serially accessed storage viable, and the simultaneous development of small, high-speed, low-power microprocessor systems allowed this to be incorporated into extremely compact systems. Serial access requires far fewer electrical connections for the memory chips than does parallel access, which has simplified the manufacture of multi-gigabyte drives. Computers access modern, update, flash memory systems very much like hard disk drives, where the controller system has full control over where information is actually stored. The actual EEPROM writing and erasure processes are, however, still very similar to the earlier systems described above. Many low-cost MP3 players simply add extra software and a battery to a standard flash memory control microprocessor so it can also serve as a music playback decoder. Most of these players can also be used as a conventional flash drive, for storing files of any type. Essential components: there are typically 5 parts to a flash drive. Standard A USB plug provides a physical interface to the host computer. USB mass storage controller, a small microcontroller with a small amount of on-chip ROM and RAM. NAND flash memory chip stores data. Crystal oscillator produces the device's main 12 MHz clock signal and controls the device's data output through a phase-locked loop. Cover, typically made of plastic or metal, protecting the electronics against mechanical stress and even possible short circuits. Additional components: the typical device may also include jumpers and test pins, for testing during the flash drive's manufacturing or loading code into the microprocessor. LEDs indicate data transfers or data reads and writes. Write protect switches enable or disable writing of data into memory. Unpopulated space provides space to include a second memory chip. Having this second space allows the manufacturer to use a single printed circuit board for more than one storage size device. USB connector cover or cap reduces the risk of damage, prevents the entry of dirt or other contaminants, and improves overall device appearance. Some flash drives use retractable USB connectors instead. Others have a swivel arrangement so that the connector can be protected without removing anything. Transport aid. The cap or the body often contains a hole suitable for connection to a keychain or lanyard. Connecting the cap, rather than the body, can allow the drive itself to be lost. Some drives offer expandable storage via an internal memory card slot, much like a memory card reader. Size and style of packaging. Some manufacturers differentiate their products by using elaborate housings, which are often bulky and make the drive difficult to connect to the USB port. Because the USB port connectors on a computer housing are often closely spaced, plugging a flash drive into a USB port may block an adjacent port. Such devices may only carry the USB logo if sold with a separate extension cable. Such cables are USB compatible, but do not conform to the USB standard. USB flash drives have been integrated into other commonly carried items, such as watches, pens, and even the Swiss Army knife. Others have been fitted with novelty cases such as toy cars or Lego bricks. USB flash drives with images of dragons, cats or aliens are very popular in Asia. The small size, robustness and cheapness of USB flash drives make them an increasingly popular peripheral for case modding. File system. Most flash drives ship pre-formatted with the FAT32 or exFAT file systems. The ubiquity of the FAT32 file system allows the drive to be accessed on virtually any host device with USB support. Also, standard FAT maintenance utilities can be used to repair or retrieve corrupted data. However, because a flash drive appears as a USB-connected hard drive to the host system, the drive can be reformatted to any file system supported by the host operating system. Defragmenting flash drives can be defragmented. There is a widespread opinion that defragmenting brings little advantage, and that defragmenting shortens the life of the drive by making many unnecessary writes. However, some sources claim that defragmenting a flash drive can improve performance, and the additional wear on flash drives may not be significant. Even distribution. Some file systems are designed to distribute usage over an entire memory device without concentrating usage on any part to prolong the life of simple flash memory devices. Some USB flash drives have this wear leveling feature built into the software controller to prolong device life, while others do not. So it is not necessarily helpful to install one of these file systems. Hard disk drive sectors are 512 bytes long, for compatibility with hard disk drives, and the first sector can contain a master boot record and a partition table. Therefore, USB flash units can be partitioned just like hard disk drives. Longevity. The memory in flash drives is commonly engineered with multi-level cell-based memory that is good for around 3,000–5,000 program arrays cycles. But some flash drives have single-level cell-based memory that is good for around 100,000 writes. There is virtually no limit to the number of reads from such flash memory. So a well-worn USB drive may be write protected to help ensure the life of individual cells. Estimation of flash memory endurance is a challenging subject that depends on the SLC, MLC, TLC memory type, size of the flash memory chips, and actual usage pattern. As a result, a USB flash drive can last from a few days to several hundred years. Regardless of the endurance of the memory itself, the USB connector hardware is specified to withstand only around 1,500 insert removal cycles. Counterfeit products. Counterfeit USB flash drives are sometimes sold with claims of having higher capacities than they actually have. These are typically low-capacity USB drives which are modified so that they emulate larger capacity drives. When plugged into a computer, they report themselves as being the larger capacity they were sold as, but when data is written to them, either the write fails, the drive freezes up, or it overwrites existing data. Software tools exist to check and detect fake USB drives, and in some cases it is possible to repair these devices to remove the false capacity information and use them normally as the low-capacity drives there. File transfer speeds. Transfer speeds are technically determined by the slowest of two, sometimes three factors: the USB version used and the speed in which the USB controller device can read and write data onto the flash memory. Third factor is the speed of the hardware bus. In the case of add-on USB ports, USB flash drives usually specify their read and write speeds in megabytes per second. Read speed is usually faster. These speeds are for optimal conditions. Real-world speeds are usually slower. In particular, circumstances that often lead to speeds much lower than advertised are transfer of many small files rather than a few very large ones, and mixed reading and writing to the same device. In a typical well-conducted review of a number of high-performance USB 3.0 drives, a drive that could read large files at 68 megabytes per second and write at 46 megabytes per second could only manage 14 megabytes per second and 0.3 megabytes per second with many small files. When combining streaming reads and writes, the speed of another drive that could read at 92 megabytes per second and write at 70 megabytes per second was 8 megabytes per second. These differences differ radically from one drive to another. Some drives could write small files at over 10% of the speed for large ones. The examples given are chosen to illustrate extremes.